Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Since a few of you broke the ice, feel free to say good evening to each other, hear each other's voices. I will bathe in the sound of your voices.
Good evening.
Hi,
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, Marilyn.
Buenas
Hi,
noches.
everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, big love, everybody. Big love.
Nashville.
Victoria.
Hi from Santa Barbara.
Wonder where the dog's calling him from.
He's saying hi.
Wherever you may be calling in from. Whoops. Okay, now I'd
Hello
like to
from,
invite all of you to mute, if you don't mind. Anyway, lovely to hear the barking dogs, the human voices, just feeling that kind of welcoming feeling in my heart, and glad you're here. And I thought that I would start a little bit differently tonight. I don't know how it will work, but I'd like the first 15 minutes of our meditation to be a meditation on Thich Nhat Hahn, who died recently, who many of you have had in your hearts and your thoughts. And I'm going to play, since I have the screen share, I'm going to play a guided meditation. It's called a guided meditation on our teacher, and it's 15 minutes. So it's a way of settling in. And once this ends, just feel free to continue either the form of practice that's being offered or continue doing your own practice. And I may slip in a few things somewhere along the line. But in the meantime, this is one of the nuns from the Plum Village community in France, Thich Nhat Hanh's community, doing a guided meditation on Thich Nhat Hanh. Let's see.
Dear Sangha, dear friends, now we will practice a guided meditation on coming in touch with Thai, not in his physical body, but in the different manifestations. And I'd like to invite everyone to sit upright, to sit comfortably, to sit beautifully. And to bring your attention to your body, to your breathing. Breathing in, I enjoy my whole in-breath. Breathing out, I enjoy my whole out-breath. In-breath, out-breath. Breathing in, I'm aware that Thai is not his body. Breathing out, I'm aware that Thai is not caught in his body. Thai is not his body. Thai is not caught in his body. Breathing in, I'm aware that Thai is life without limit. Breathing out, I'm aware that Thai has never been born and never died. Life without limit, never been born, never died. Breathing in, I'm aware of Thai in millions of galaxies arising from consciousness. Breathing out, I'm aware of Thai in mountains and rivers, galaxies, mountains, and rivers. Breathing in, I smile to Thai. Breathing out, I sit for Thai. Smiling to Thai. Sitting for Thai. Breathing in, I wave goodbye to Thai. Breathing out, I meet Thai in every moment of daily life. Wave to Thai. Meet Thai in daily life. And another practice that we can do is walking. Walking in nature, it's best to find time alone, to walk alone, to really walk mindfully. This is another practice that Thai reminded us over and over again. Like in every one of Thai's talk, Thai reminded us to come back to our breath, take refuge in our breath, to take refuge in our steps.
My hunch is that Thai would want all of us to not just see him as one with the cosmos, one with everything, and would not want us to just smile at Thai, practice for Thai, want us to remember that we are, each of us individually, is one with the cosmos. So we take his words, so we continue in our sitting tonight. This body is not me. I am not caught in this body. I am life without boundaries. I have never been born, and I have never died. Since beginningless time, I have always been free. We rest in that natural freedom, releasing the idea of our body, the idea of time, birth and death. And just dive into life. And we smile. That reflects our openness, our non-contentious relationship to life. We know and enjoy the experience of breathing in, know the experience of breathing out. Breath by breath. Remember that we are peace. I again reminds us, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. So I don't know about for you, but it was nice for me to have Thich Nhat Hanh, otherwise known as Thai, in the atmosphere tonight. Some of you may not know who Thich Nhat Hanh was or is. He was a world teacher, a world Buddhist monk from Vietnam. Just a prolific writer, an activist, a manifester of opportunities for people to practice. I would say probably more than anyone worldwide has been the person who most mainstreamed the practice of mindfulness. And he recently died. He's been ill for quite some time after a stroke and I don't think he's spoken in 6 years or so, at least able to speak. But yet the fragrance of his life and his practice is very much with me. It's very much with what I share, and so many others. He's made a huge difference and made such a huge difference in encouraging people to bring the meditative quality of mind to everyday activities, to every moment of one's day, to break the spell that we tend to have where we associate meditation with just our formal practice. But to remind us that this nature, this boundless nature that we have, this awake nature that we have it doesn't have a location, therefore it is completely portable. It's not something that just shows up on our cushion. It shows up wherever you are. And when it does show up, when this quality of mindful attention shows up, when we know what we're doing, when we know what we're thinking, then we have more clarity. And it's clarity of perception that is what gives rise to wise speech, wise action, wise livelihood, just a much more skillful way of living in this world. So a lot of people are feeling his loss, but he would be, just as that meditation, the reason I chose that meditation is that one of his central passages, which I read again during the sitting, which I truly believe he knew to be true, not just as an idea, but as a direct experience, is that this body is not me. I am not caught in this body. I am life without boundaries. I've never been born and I have never died. Since beginningless time, I've always been free. So for him, the dropping of the body, and hopefully for each of us, if we take that as a teaching, the dropping of the body, the idea of being the body, we can die before we're dead into this life of awakening. And that this whole idea of being born and this whole idea of dying is an idea. It's a thought. Free of that thought. Outside of that realm of thinking. What are we? Who are we? It's not what we imagine. And that one of the purposes of our practice is to realize that boundless nature, that deathless nature, and not just let it stay in the realm of theory. I actually have another quote. That birth and death are ideas. They don't really exist, he said. No birth, no death. There's no coming, there's no going, there's no same, there's no difference, there's no permanent self, there's no annihilation. We only think there is. So such a strong emphasis in his teaching, even though so simple and practical in so many ways, that he was constantly pointing and encouraging all of us in his teachings to step out of the conceptual realm, to not limit yourself to the conceptual realm. It's really the realm of fear, where time is running out, our bodies are aging, everything, it's all about worry. What did he say? I had something, he said something about fear keeps us focused on the past and worried about the future. It's this body of fear. And the central character in that story of fear is I am the body, is me, the imagined me. So he kept encouraging people to step out of this story for a moment by moment. And you'll see that what waits, most people are engaged with something else, but what waits is peace. Peace in every step, peace in every sight, in every sound, in every smell, peace in being aware. So, of course, that emphasis has always been really meaningful to me, being able to remember when I can remember that I'm not who I imagine myself to be. That any version of myself that plays in my mind, any version of myself that's identified with the body, identified with feelings, identified with thoughts, any version is an insult in a way to the grandeur of each of our natures. The indescribable nature that we are. That is not, this body is not me. That I'm not caught in this body. I'm life without boundaries. I've never been born, I've never died. Since the beginning of this time, I've always been free. Now, any taste, and I'm sure every single person here has tasted moments of your life where you were not defined by the body of fear, not defined by the past or the future, where you were just present, where there was no dividing line anymore between you, self, and other. That prison, that what can be, unless it's noticed, unless it's recognized, the prison of identity, of self-consciousness, of me, of fear. Every person here has tasted that. And when that taste of stepping out of the small view of oneself is experienced, as I often speak about what we see when we see through the illusion of self, see through the illusion of a separate self, of a separate me, is we see through the illusion of others. It's through that melting away of that fear body that our heart is then released to be able to sense so deeply and so intimately and so obviously that there is nothing and no one apart from us. As Neem Karoli Baba says, I am like the wind, no one can hold me. I belong to everyone, no one can own me. The whole world is my home and all are my family. I live in every heart. He says, I'll never leave thee. But Thich Nhat Hanh, of course, a lot of his realization was born of the suffering of the Vietnamese people and the country, and the land, from the war, the long, long war. And he witnessed terrible atrocities, and he cared for the boat people who were just went out to sea to find safety. And he was so moved by by the madness of war and the madness of treating others as though they are enemies. And he became a real anti-war activist, and he had a huge influence on MLK, on Martin Luther King. They became friends. In fact, at the end of last week, I read the constitution of SNCC, of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee that came out of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And it's so obvious now, after Thich Nhat Hanh has passed, that it was so informed by Buddha Dharma. And last week, I also read from the Samyutta Nikaya, said, therefore, you should train yourself thus. We will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by love, make it our vehicle, make it our basis, stabilize it. And then the SNCC Constitution, we affirm the philosophical religious ideal of nonviolence as the foundation of our purpose, the manner of our action, nonviolence as it grows from the Judeo-Christian tradition seeks a social order of justice permeated by love. Through nonviolence, courage displaces fear, love transforms hate, acceptance dissipates prejudice, peace dominates war, faith reconciles doubt, mutual regard cancels enmity, justice overthrows injustice. The redemptive community supersedes systems of gross social immorality. Love is the central motif of nonviolence. That's the unleashing of that sensitivity, that there is no other. Something I read almost every month or so from Thich Nhat Hanh, you and are me and I am you. Isn't it obvious that we enter our, you cultivate the flower in yourself so that I will be beautiful. I transform the garbage in myself so that you will not have to suffer. I support you, you support me. I'm in this world to offer you peace. You are in this world to bring me joy. Sometimes this doesn't immediately make sense, so we feel our way into it through some of his teachings, where he said, when we look at a beautiful chrysanthemum, hope you're with me for a minute. We look at this beautiful chrysanthemum, we get the impression that this flower is full of the cosmos. Everything in the cosmos is there in the flower, including the cloud, the sunshine, the soil, minerals, time and space, everything. It looks like the whole cosmos has come together to manifest the flower. The one contains the all. There's only one thing that is not there. That is a separate entity, a separate existence. The flower is full of the cosmos, of everything else, but the flower is empty of a separate self. No separate self, that is the first meaning of emptiness. You cannot be by yourself. You have to interbe with the cosmos. And we are all in you. If you look deeply into yourself, you will see all of us in you. That is the beginning of the contemplation of inner being, focusing on the teaching of emptiness. When he says emptiness, emptiness of self. I'll read one more paragraph. I haven't read this in years, but since I'm looking at it and since I don't get a chance to read this so often, how do we apply this teaching in our daily life? So it has value for us. When a father looks deeply into his son, he sees that his son is his continuation, that he is fully present in every cell of his son. And making his son suffer is to make himself suffer. He begins to see the truth of interbeing. The Father is in the Son is in the Father. Thanks to the Father, the Son can connect it's so old that it's been worn out. I'll just skip over. When the Son walks, all the ancestors walk too. And if the Son makes a peaceful, joyful, happy step, all the ancestors in him enjoy that. It's so kind of you to walk for your ancestors, for your parents. Maybe your parents do have a chance to learn about walking meditation and now you walk for your parents, you walk for your ancestors, you walk like a free person on this beautiful planet. So every breath, every step, everything you do can be done with the insight of inner being. Another quote that popped up today is walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet. There's so much heart when we experience that sense of immediacy, that sense of inner being. And how do we experience that sense of inner being? By anchoring our attention here, so close to our immediate experience, even during this time, so close to our immediate experience that peace is there, that something in us lets go, and we feel more free. That the Thich Nhat Hanh said that the only, how can I have it with me, and I don't want to take the time to look for it, but maybe I have it. Yeah, here we go. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, possessions, we cannot be free. Freedom is the only condition for happiness. So when we talk about freedom, it means free of our usual preoccupations, free of these fixed ideas of what I need to be happy, free of viewing the life as though I know what should be happening, free of being, of fighting with reality. Someone shared a quote with me earlier today. I'm lucky enough to find it in the midst of all this. It's from Byron Katie. He says, when you argue with reality, you suffer. When you argue with reality, you suffer. So our moment to moment presence, our stepping out of our arguing with reality, is the doorway to freedom, to happiness, to that feeling of interbeing. This is not unique to Thich Nhat Hanh, obviously. A sense of non-separateness. I think it really is a secret to how we can feel some connection even through the computer, even through Zoom. It's remarkable. It has something to do with there being not really any distance, any separation. That separation is really just our thoughts. And Albert Einstein, I read this recently, a human being is part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. They experience themselves, their thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of their consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole nature in its beauty. That reminded me of what I consider, I hope you don't mind me just kind of drifting along here, what I consider to be the most moving and famous of all of Thich Nhat Hanh's poems, that was born of his deep sense of inner being and his sensitivity to the suffering that he knew as in his own bones. And his most famous poem called "Please Call Me by My True Names." Don't say that I will depart tomorrow. Even today, I'm still arriving. Look deeply. Every second, I'm arriving to be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with still fragile wings, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower, to be a jewel hiding itself in a stone. I still arrive in order to laugh and to cry, to fear and to hope. The rhythm of my heart is the birth and death of all that are alive. I am the mayfly metamorphosing on the surface of the river. I'm the bird that swoops down to swallow the mayfly. I'm a frog swimming happily in the clear water of a pond. And I'm the grass snake that silently feeds itself on the frog. I'm the child of Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks. And I'm the arms merchant selling deadly weapons to Uganda. I'm the 12-year-old girl, refugee on a small boat, who throws herself into the ocean after being raped by a sea pirate. I'm also the pirate, my heart not yet capable of seeing and loving. I'm a member of the Politburo with plenty of power in my hands, and I'm the man who has to pay his debt of blood to my people dying slowly in a forced labor camp. My joy is like spring, so warm it makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain is like a river of tears, so vast it fills the four oceans. Please call me by my true names so I can hear all my cries and laughter at once, so I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true names so I can wake up and the door of my heart can be left open, the door of compassion. So the door of compassion is not just a tender heart, it's a fierce heart as well. Compassion has courage, and if anything, Thich Nhat Hanh was an embodiment of this kind of gentleness. We hosted him at Spirit Rock, and it was quite a moving experience. At the time, I was really under the illusion that because I was on fire with the teachings, that this very sedate, peaceful quality was almost depressing. And Thich Nhat Hanh with, I think, between 12 and 1,500 people at Spirit Rock, just walking slowly and very mindfully up in the hills. From a certain perspective, it looked like a collective trance of dullness was my first reaction to it. But the longer that I was immersed in this field of peace, I saw that this was gorgeous. It was magnificent and so rare in this world. And interestingly enough, I read today a line from Thich Nhat Hanh where he said, many people think excitement is happiness, but when you are excited, you are not peaceful. True happiness is based on peace. And it's funny, I had that realization on the day that we hosted him at Spirit Rock. He left me though with I've thought about him a lot over the years because he seemed to me, and this is again, could have been my projection, but he seemed very sad. But I think that that's the appropriate response to this world of so much pain. That if we're not sad in some way, we've lost our pulse. We're not really alive. But yet at the same time of carrying this kind of sadness, there was such an openness, such a non-contentiousness, such a loving quality that permeates all his communities. And all the people that I've met who've been fans of Thich Nhat Hanh really value the heart. But getting back to courage, one of his poems that he read in 1964 when he came out and encouraged MLK to come out against the Vietnam, helped change his views on the war. He published a poem called Condemnation in a Buddhist weekly. And this is just part of the poem. Whoever is listening, be my witness. I cannot accept this war. I never could, I never will. I must say this 1,000 times before I am killed. I'm like the bird who dies for the sake of its mate, dripping blood from its broken beak and crying out, beware, turn around and face your real enemies, ambition, violence, hatred, and greed. He was dismissed for being kind of an anti-war person, but this is gorgeous. And he shared this with such courage. There was no question, because people who were dying were not other than himself. People who were shooting were not other than himself. I actually think that's all I have for now. I'm curious if any of you have reflections about Thich Nhat Hanh. Any comments that you would like to make? Any questions, of course. I will fill up the space if you don't say something. Please, Anne.
I used to
Breaking
get
news.
his calendar every year.
I'm not hearing you at all.
Oh, I
Oh,
unmuted.
wait, yeah, I'm not.
Am I still
Your
muted?
volume is.
Is my volume too low? Is that better?
Can
Huh.
others hear her?
I can hear her.
I can hear her too.
Strange.
I'll hum for a little bit. Can you hear me now?
I finally have you. Thank you.
Okay. I used to get Thich Nhat Hanh's, they had an engagement calendar for years, every year. I got it. And then I really enjoyed the teachings. I didn't know anything about his Vietnam War or views or MLK or anything. Thank you for that. But I noticed that I got his walking meditation. It was a little CD, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I could not move that slowly. It was really a challenge. So I just wanted to share that when you put up the image of all those people walking on the hills really slowly, that was the hardest thing they've ever done.
Maybe so.
That's what it feels like.
Maybe
Yeah.
so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Margot, please.
Hi, I'm Margot. I took a mindfulness-based stress reduction class at a university here in San Diego because I was feeling a lot of stress. And over time, I had a very serious critical voice and other things that I was always beating myself up, and all kinds of terrible things were going on in my mind. And little did I know today that all these great things that mindfulness has brought me came from Thich Nhat Hanh bringing mindfulness to our world. So I feel really grateful that I am here because of Thich Nhat Hanh. And I feel so lucky, so fortunate.
Great. Thank you, Margot. Just to clarify, he was one of many who brought mindfulness to our world, but he was, I think he may have had the greatest influence through his teachings, his books, but many people though. And you have brought mindfulness to this world. Just however it has touched you and then passed on in the way that you are. And it's important that we don't forget that, and that we don't idealize Thich Nhat Hanh and think of him as other than ourselves. It really is. So thank you, Margot.
Thank you.
Madison, please. And then Patrick.
Thanks, Howie. I got gifted with a weekend with him, I think sometime in the 80s. And maybe it was in Santa Cruz. And I went out there, and it was really difficult for me. He was frail even in the 1980s. He was very protected. You couldn't come close to him. And I had some difficulty in the meditation room, and I had difficulty in the dorm room. I won't go into what it was, but at one point, and the second day, I thought, this is just not working. I need to go home and I have really failed. And I was not a meditator. So this was a big deal for me to even be at a weekend with Thich Nhat Hanh when I was not meditating. And I left and I went back to the city, and suddenly I'm in the middle of driving on Divisadero, and this sense of total peace and well-being. I can't remember the exact thing that happened, but it was like, oh, this is the teaching, but I have to get it in the city in traffic. That's where I'm going to receive it. So I never forgot that. I read the books, but I realized that there's something that I got, but I couldn't get it in the room. I don't know what you would make of that, but it was just very interesting to me. I couldn't get it with his people. I couldn't get it in the space, but
Well, your mind was quite, it sounds like your mind was quite reactive when you were in the space. And when your mind stopped being reactive, you noticed that you were just driving on Divisadero and you were just peaceful. So that's what we try to remember is when we drive, just drive. When we eat, just eat. And those moments are available to us every day, all day. And it helps to do formal practice as well, even if we are reactive during the group sittings. Anyway, thanks, Madison. Patrick, please.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, beautifully.
I had the good fortune of visiting Plum Village when Thich Nhat Hanh was in residence. And I understand what you mean about his demeanor as appearing kind of sad. But an example of the joy that he exuded was when he started his Dharma talks, he would always have the children sit in front, and he would start by engaging them in having them ask questions or him asking them questions, and he was beaming. And it was a very joyous exchange. And he would lead into some kind of story. And then that would lead into his Dharma talk, of which he was a master of the parable. And so it was, I know in the meditation, in the walking meditation, it's very, more of a, a somber tone, but in fact, the spirit was really joy.
Beautiful.
And there was also at the feeling of Plum Village itself was one of joy, where there was a lot of singing and laughing and enjoyment. So that was a big component of it.
So thank you for bringing him and the community into our circle tonight. So thank you, Patrick. So two more, Linda and then Casey.
Good evening. So I work as a hospital chaplain, and I have this yellow folder in which I carry around all my secret chaplain papers, and pasted to the front of it is a Thich Nhat Hanh quote, which I will read if that's okay. It's not long, it's 2 paragraphs. And I find this just very inspiring for this work. So he says, first, you have to focus on the practice of being fresh, being peaceful, being attentive, being generous, being compassionate. This is the basic practice. It's as if the other person is sitting at the foot of a tree. The tree does not do anything, but the tree is fresh and alive. When you are like that tree, sending out waves of freshness, you help to calm down the suffering in the other person.
Beautiful. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you. Casey, please.
Well, I just want to say thank you for this talk. I've been feeling a lot of sadness, just feeling like a big light in the world has kind of gone out a bit. But I am also recalling about how I think I was first introduced really to Thich Nhat Hanh through you, Howie, with you having read Our True Heritage. That was something, it was like a bell that couldn't have been unrung for me. And is something, a poem that you've read, throughout the years, and how much that resonates. And I also just had like an experience where I lived in Mississippi for a year with my now spouse. And Thich Nhat Hanh has a monastery there in Batesville, Mississippi. And so there was a retreat there when I had first arrived. And I thought, I need to go. And little did I know, Thich Nhat Hanh was there and led the retreat for a week with about 100 people. And so it is really something. Just Patrick having talked about the singing was incredible. I continue to hear a lot of the songs that were sung, the way in which everyone sort of walked around him and him leading the children and showing different mudras and having tea and just infused with this incredible beauty and peace. And how are you talking about bringing that to brushing your teeth in the morning? These meditations feel like he brought them to daily life. And I'm very grateful for that and for everyone sharing how Thich Nhat Hanh has touched them, and for you, Howie, for sharing that as well throughout the years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see you as always. Just for those who don't know that poem about our true heritage, the punchline is you, and this is for everyone tonight to remember, you who are the richest person on earth, who've been going around begging for a living, stop being the destitute child, come home, reclaim your heritage. So, always good to bring it into our community. And David, you're the last person, and so bring it on home.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I posted a poem in the chat that came from a friend who is a part of the Plum Village community. And Daniel was a Vietnam vet, and Thich Nhat Hanh worked extensively with US Vietnam veterans. And I believe this is an unpublished poem, but it was Thich Nhat Hanh's death poem that he wrote about his own death. And so Daniel sent that to me, and I just wanted to share it with everyone. It's a beautiful poem.
Thank you, David.
Howie.
Thank you so much. So if all of you could indulge me a little longer, I'd like to end this evening by sharing a short dharmet from one of the monks at Plum Village that I think captures some of the spirit of Thich Nhat Hanh. And I think that you'll appreciate it. And we'll just, once you hear the end of this, we'll just sign off, say goodbye to each other. And if you can stick around, it'll take a couple minutes beyond 8:30.
Howie, can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to remind everyone about the opportunity to have a half-day retreat with you this weekend.
Right, that's right.
So you can say it or I, but I just didn't want people to miss a chance, because this has been so enveloping that I didn't want to interrupt, but here's an opportunity for everybody this Saturday, 9 to 1. And you probably are aware of it because there's an opportunity to register for it on the email that you got about tonight's meeting. So there's a little button, you just swipe down and click on it, and you can register for Howie's this retreat this Saturday.
Yes, love to see you all Saturday on the possibility of having joy even during these times. So 4 hours, it's just wonderful to have sustained practice together, and I'll look forward to seeing all of you there on Saturday, 9 to 1. And this is a short talk, 7 minutes and 54 seconds, called Generating a Collective Energy of Mindfulness. So carry this into your daily life. And if you're still around at the end of it, please feel free to unmute and say goodbye. Here it comes.
Dear beloved Sangha, in this solemn moment, whatever we may be feeling in our hearts, let us remember that we are so lucky that technology today allows us to connect with each other all over the world. So we don't have to be alone with these feelings. And so together we can generate a powerful collective energy But no matter what our situation is, as a spiritual community, we know that we are all connected. And our collective energy is amplified by the fact that we can come together online and practice together simultaneously all around the world. When we are aware of our brothers and sisters in our spiritual family, all around the world practicing together, we can make use of that collective energy to embrace the feelings in our hearts with mindfulness, tenderness, and compassion. We hope that each of us during this sacred moment of Thai's transition and continuation can feel a deep connection to our Sangha body. Thai has prepared us well for this moment. He has helped us to see that we are not limited to this body. We are much more than this body. Thai has invited us to see his continuation in everyone who is putting his teaching into practice around the world. Sometimes in the forest, a mighty tree falls, and although we may be sad to see such a great tree fall, we can remember that the forest still stands and that at the level of the roots, the ancient tree continues, connected with all the younger trees. Thai has been such a huge tree in our forest. He has offered inspiration, guidance, healing, and courage to us all. And Thai's roots have become our roots, connecting us to the whole lineage of teacher since the Buddha himself. Whether we have read a book, watched a talk, or joined one of Thai's retreats, we have all been touched in some way by Thai's teachings. And every time we are able to put them into practice, we are already continuing Thai. Every breath taken in awareness, every step taken in mindfulness, every word of loving speech, every compassionate act, and every kind thought continues us and tie beautifully into the future. When we come together to practice sitting meditation, walking meditation, touching the earth, chanting, or a ceremony, we are helping to realize Thai's dream of a powerful collective energy of mindfulness, compassion, and awakening, which can act in the world to reduce suffering in ourselves, in our families, our schools, workplace, governments, and even between different nations. There may be some sadness in our hearts in this moment, and that is okay. It is okay to cry a little and to let the sadness flow. As Thai said, there is an art to suffering. And if we know how to suffer, we suffer much less. By touching the collective energy of insight, we can accompany our feelings of sadness with the realization that this is a moment of continuation, of new growth, and unlimited possibility. When Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed, Thich made a vow that he would continue Dr. King's dream so that his vision of a beloved community would be realized. We are all now part of that beloved community, which is still growing all around the world. Every year on Thai's birthday, Thich would say that he did not want to receive any gifts, that he did not need anything. The only thing Thich wanted was to hear from each of us what our aspiration was for our practice. In this solemn moment, please look deeply into your hearts to see if there is something you would like to promise to Thich as an offering of your practice, to express your gratitude to him for his life and his teaching, and to continue his energy of compassion and peace in the world. It may be as simple as a promise to reconcile with a loved one, or to let go of a habit that has been making you suffer, or to cultivate a new habit that will nourish you. This is a very meaningful offering, a gift to Thich, and it continues his action in the world. In this way, we each have a chance to help realize Thach's dream, which is also Martin Luther King's dream, and the dream of all great teachers, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas. Together, we can make this dream a living reality that never stops growing. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on this journey of continuation. We are so happy to be able to walk the path together as a global Sangha. We are with you in every mindful breath and step. We are with you in joy and in sorrow. On behalf of all of us here in Plum Village, we invite you to join us in making these next few days a celebration of Thach's life and teachings. We have collected here some sharings from our elder brothers and sisters to help guide us in this process. You may like to use them to support you at this time, whether you practice on your own, at home, or with your Sangha. Thank you.
Thank you for being part of this evening. Thank you for your generosity as always to keep us afloat. And feel free to unmute and say good night to each other. Thanks for your practice.
Good night.
Thank you.
Howie. Good night, everybody.
Howie.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, Howie.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
That was really amazing. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank
Blessings.
you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Take good care.
Mhm.
Big love. Big love. Whoa. Wow.
Thanks, Howie Gelman, for co-hosting. Very seamless. Anyway, thank you all.
Thank you, Howie.
Hey, no, Amy.
Bless
See
you
all
all.
later.
Good night.
Good night, all. I'm just about to end the meeting.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.